Welcome to today's topic on decolonization of the South Africa higher education curriculum. Decolonization has been a major focus of most researchers because the decolonization and colonization of higher education curriculum is a very important topic to focus due to the fact that the researchers has indicated that there are a lot of changes that are yet to be made when it comes to higher education in South Africa. One of the changes that are identified is that South African higher education has mostly focused on Eurocentric curriculum before colonialism and even during colonialism, because most researchers has identified that higher education has focused more attention on studying the empowerment of white community and how powerful they are compared to the black and indigenous history in higher education. Eurocentric curriculum, however, can be described as the limited study of black and indigenous history and more study of white community and their empowerment. Universities are yet to reduce the illustrative curriculum in higher education because Eurocentric curriculum has been a form of study in the higher education for a very long time now. However, the purpose of this research is to explore the Eurocentric of South Africa higher education curriculum in order to identify theories and models that can be used to improve more study of indigenous and black history in South Africa higher education. How has decolonization affected the South African higher education curriculum? This is a very important question because South African higher education curriculum has been affected greatly when it comes to decolonization of the study, which is the more study of African and black history and lesser study on empowerment of white studies, white superiorities. A lot of negative identification has been made when it comes to the effect of decolonization of South Africa education curriculum. The effects are instability of post-colonial political system. The political systems are not stable now. With South African political system are so unstable that it's as if the politicians don't even know what to do. They're confused. They don't have adequate way of controlling this decolonization system of South Africa. They are more used to the colonization system of South Africa than the decolonization. There's still less information when it comes to politicians and politics in South Africa. There are huge amount of economic problems when it comes to decolonization study of South African higher education curriculum because there are less information, there are less informed issues when it comes to how to solve economic problems, and there is also prevention of growth. Growth are being prevented since the decolonization of South Africa education curriculum. Colonization and decolonization. What is colonization? Colonization is the time when it started a long time ago when Europeans started occupying the land of South Africa, and African people are forced to be controlled. The leaders are controlled by European pilgrims. Decolonization, however, is when South Africa moved from Eurocentric, which is the study of white empowerment, to a more comprehensive culture, which focus on studying indigenous and black history. Curriculum and the changes in South Africa. South Africa curriculum has not been changed fully when it comes to the wordings, and I think that's why the problem is increasing. That's why the problem is not changing, though we've moved from colonization curriculum to decolonization curriculum, but the problem still stayed the same. However, expansion has been made when it comes to global and public acknowledgement, public awareness of South African indigenous history. Students can now focus attention on studying even students pick it as a major topic to study the history of Black and indigenous people, which is an improvement when it comes to decolonization of South Africa higher education curriculum. Findings and discussion. After researching and interviewing few and couple of respondents, the study identified that decolonization brought about debt and burdens. There are more debts and burdens, even similar to the apartheid time. There is now inadequate accommodation and institution. Institution is still a product of patriarchy, racism, and colonialism. Though decolonization of education has happened, there's still patriarchy, there's still racism, there's still colonialism. People are still considered according to what race they come from, and people are still considered according to what gender they are. However, in conclusion, 95% of respondents agreed that decolonization still carries the same quality of apartheid, and which are low and reduction of economy, and also low quality of low quality of life, which however improving poor and poverty in South Africa. Thank you for listening. Do you have any question? You can comment below for any question.